of the psychological effects of racism based, in part, on his own experiences of life among the black middle class in the French Caribbean. The dominant colonial culture, he argued, identifies the black skin of the Negro with impurity, and the Antilleans accept this association and so come to despise themselves. Colonial women exhibit their identification with whiteness, for example, by attempting neurotically to avoid black men and get close to and ultimately cohabit with white men, a process Fanon dubbed lactification. This self-contempt manifests itself in other ways, as anxiety in the presence of whites, about revealing one's natural Negro inferiority, in a pathological hypersensitivity that Fanon dubbed affective erethism, in an existential dread, and in a neurotic refusal to face up to the fact of one's own blackness. Black children raised within the racist cultural assumptions of the colonial system can partially resolve the tension between contempt for blackness and their own dark skins by coming to think of themselves, in some sense, as white, hence the white masks of the title. Fanon's approach in Black Skin, White Masks focuses on the problems of identity created for the colonial subject by colonial racism, and on the consequent need to escape from these neuroses which colonialism had produced. The passion and power of Fanon's writing comes through forcefully in this new translation. We may no longer find the psychoanalytic framework as useful in understanding racism's causes and effects as he did. But the vigor of his evocations of the psychological damage wrought on many colonial peoples and on the colonizers who oppressed them remains. And if we are no longer completely convinced by his theories, his work remains a powerful reminder of the psychological burdens that colonial racism imposed upon its victims. Yet, though Black Skin, White Masks is a searing indictment of colonialism, it is also a hopeful invitation to a new relation between black and white, colonizer and colonized. Each, he says, must move away from the inhuman voices of their respective ancestors so that a genuine communication can be born. That message, alas, is also one that remains relevant today. Introduction. I am talking about millions of men whom they have knowingly instilled with fear and a complex of inferiority, whom they have infused with despair and trained to tremble, to kneel and behave like flunkies. A. Cesar, Discourse on Colonialism. Don't expect to see any explosion today. It's too early or too late. I'm not the bearer of absolute truths. No fundamental inspiration has flashed across my mind. I honestly think, however, it's time some things were said. Things I'm going to say, not shout. I've long given up shouting. A long time ago. Why am I writing this book? Nobody asked me to, especially not those for whom it is intended. So in all serenity, my answer is that there are too many idiots on this earth. And now that I've said it, I have to prove it. Striving for a new humanism. Understanding mankind. Our black brothers, I believe in you, man. Racial prejudice. Understanding and loving. I'm bombarded from all sides with hundreds of lines that try to foist themselves on me. A single line, however, would be enough. All it needs is one simple answer, and the black question would lose all relevance. What does man want? What does the black man want? Running the risk of angering my black brothers, I shall say that a black is not a man. There is a zone of non-being, an extraordinarily sterile and arid region, an incline stripped bare of every essential from which a genuine new departure can emerge. In most cases, the black man cannot take advantage of this descent into a veritable hell. Man has not only the potential for self-consciousness or negation. If it be true that consciousness is transcendental, we must also realize that this transcendence is obsessed with the issue of love and understanding. Man is a yes, resonating from cosmic harmonies. Uprooted, dispersed, dazed, and doomed to watch as the truths he has elaborated vanish one by one, he must